The Kingsley Art Club presents another in our series of artist studio visits, which are in lieu of our in-person guest lecture series. This visit, as well as our other arts programs, is made possible by the dues and contributions of the members of the Kingsley to further our mission of bringing arts and arts education to the community.
Hi, I'm Pam Saltenberger, co-chair of the Kingsley Art Club with Nancy Laurence, and I'd like to welcome you to our fifth video presentation, which, as you know, because of the pandemic, we've not been able to have program at the Crocker Art Museum Auditorium. But we're fortunate in that we were able to continue with these wonderful programs, and I hope that you, when you have time, have looked at all of them. We visited Craig Martinez, Julia Cousins, Michelle LeCompte, and Shauna McDaniels. And I think that it's really important for you to know how the Kingsley has really pivoted during this very difficult time. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you William Ishmael. William is the chair of the program committee of the Kingsley Art Club, and he will provide you with the information about today's wonderful video. William.
Thank you, Pam. The video that you're about to see was done exclusively for the Kingsley Art Club by videographer Laurence Campling. Laurence has done all the videos in the past year for the Kingsley, and those videos are available on our website. This interview was conducted as part of a series of interviews that Laurence did with artists that were involved in the candy store. Those interviews were done to prepare a full-length documentary. The full documentary will be presented at Sac State and at the Crocker later this year. When the dates have been firmed up, we'll notify Kingsley members by email. In this video visit, we're visiting Michael Stevens and Suzanne Adan, and they're sharing their memories and experiences with the candy store. For those of you new to the region, or if you just aren't familiar with the candy store phenomena, let me quote from the Crocker website. This exhibition celebrates the community that put the whimsical, funky, and irreverent aesthetic of California's Sacramento region on the art historical map. Founded in 1962 by Adeliza McHugh in a modest house in Folsom, California, the Candy Store Gallery featured the avant-garde work of Robert Arneson, Roy DeForest, David Gilhooly, Maya Peoples-Bright, Peter Vandenberg, and many other makers who would become nationally and internationally significant. Held on the occasion of what would be the 60th anniversary of the gallery's founding, this exhibition is the largest to date on the candy store. Let me also note that Michael and Suzanne each have pieces in the Crocker collection, and their works are prominently featured on the following video. So enjoy the video.
I was sent up to the candy store in 1965 by Irv Marcus to see his show, and then was invited by Jim and Gladys to show in a group show in 1969. So from 65 on, I went to see probably almost every show that Adeliza put together.
I think people like Bob Arneson and Roy DeForest, Adeliza just called them up, and I don't think they took her serious at first. They would take her up maybe seconds and thirds, and come to find out she'd sell these things, I think it really shocked the guys, and so they just kept taking work up, and pretty soon we're doing shows with her, and then they all developed this really tight, close relationship. I think she surprised everybody, and I don't think that they thought this little old lady up in this little old place called the candy store was going to do what she did. At that time, Davis had Neary, Arneson, DeForest, Wiley, and Sac State at that time had, Irv, and I think Carl Worsom taught a little bit at Sac State too.
He did.
He did. I think what was happening between the two schools really fueled the imagery and fueled kind of the electricity between the two schools. And I think it helped Sacramento out incredibly. It was almost like Sacramento, because of the arrival of the people from Chicago, Sacramento and Chicago were like sister cities. And the idea of painting imagery and dealing with a figure could come from comic books, could come from cartoons that you would watch, like Popeye cartoons, Felix the Cat, and that type of imagery and the reference sources between the two cities and between this group of artists were very similar. So where they were going to look for influences were very, very similar. I mean, somebody could look at toys, or somebody could look at, which we did, because we collected them. And sometimes these strange ads, the seedier side of life, and where the imagery was a little bit tougher.
It was not easy work, for people to like or for her to sell. So she had to really work at getting sales and getting people interested in, buying the work. I mean, she just had this ability to get people to see every show, to get involved in certain artists' works. I mean, she had this incredible gift.
We were the younger group, the group that Jim and Gladys would invite us to be part of a show that they were doing up there. And so we kind of then got introduced to the community too.
This is the thing about Adeliza. She made her gallery and she made herself very accessible to young students. So as a student, if you went up there, she was, she would give you all kinds of information, talk to you about all the work. You felt like you were taking, in an odd way, an art class.
They were Arneson students, they were Wiley students, they were Marcus students, they were Jim and Gladys students who would go up there. So those people were very instrumental, Jim and Gladys and Bob and Roy, in filtering younger people through Adeliza.
She not only supported Sacramento State College artists, and professors, and UC Davis artists and professors, but she also supported, she would get Art Forum, and she would go through every article and every, advertisement, looking to see if she could find other artists to show at the candy store. She was able to get Louis Jimenez's phone number. He had a show up there. Louis Cruz Esacita. She was able to kind of go beyond California. She was able to get people interested in showing in that little house on Sutter Street. And that was pretty amazing.
And people would come to town from Los Angeles, get up here and talk to us about, could you take us up to the candy store? We would take them up to the candy store. Sometimes they would buy, sometimes they wouldn't, but it was just kind of like, I've been to the candy store. Vincent Price would go up there, and museum people would go up there. We probably don't even know how far-reaching it was, realistically, because you just didn't know in those days. It was a secret, it was a mystery, but everybody that was in the know knew where to go. And in the Sunday afternoon, sitting out on the porch, you'd go in and see the show. There wasn't enough room to really stay inside, so you would filter outside to the porch. It's like Sunday afternoon visiting Granny.
Thank you, William and Laurence, for such an amazing video. I'm sure everyone now is very eagerly awaiting the Candy Store show, which will be at the Crocker from February 2nd through May 1st. But before we go, I just want to share with you some very exciting Kingsley news. We have been involved with the Crocker in something called the Kingsley Initiative. This initiative is a fund that the Kingsley Art Club has established to assist and facilitate the local BIPOC community in their career trajectory. We are thrilled to announce that the Crocker has purchased Oh Dad, an original artwork by Tavares Bachman. This year, we were able to help 3 artists through this fund, and the others will be given to you, information will be given to you in either our newsletter or an e-blast. But this is a 5-year project in community with the Crocker, and I think it will make a huge difference in local artists in our community. So thank you for participating in our whole video series to date, and we look forward to having you back in the Crocker, back in the auditorium for a lecture, hopefully in the spring. And thank you again for being a part of the Kingsley Art Club.